Yo, what it do? Welcome to episode 115 of the Joystick Show.
Pretty chill.
Yeah, man. It's me,
intro.
Bobby.
Dylan.
Joey.
I was really unenthusiastic.
Try it again, but let's do it this way now. We're turning it around. Joey.
Dylan.
Bobby. And we're just here to make you guys laugh. We're here to
Maybe.
talk some talk.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're here to word some words.
We're gonna put together.
We're gonna pod
sentences.
some casts. It's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty
A lot
good.
of things in pop culture this week.
A lot of stuff that Dylan has not been doing, watching,
No.
and
Or playing.
I need to
shout out
be.
to Dylan the Hermit.
Yeah, I need to be.
Before we get
enveloped.
into everything that we want to talk about this week, regular YouTube spiel. Help us a lot if you could like this episode of the Joystick Show. It would also help us a lot if you could subscribe to
Did
Team
something
Joystick.
happen to the camera just now?
Something always happens to the fucking camera.
No,
doesn't
camera's
it?
good right now. Wait, is it?
No, of course it's not.
Because
Now
I
it's-
saw it flicker and then I was like,
Pay attention to that, okay?
Yeah.
This is your best friend
Yes.
now, all right?
hey,
Camera.
Fucking a minute in and we're already hitting TDs.
Yeah.
All right, let's
it
try.
happened again.
Yeah, that's good. I'll keep it on.
Everything's okay.
That one's really
Yeah.
Positive mental attitude.
The guys with the guns in their corners are doing okay, good? We're good?
But, subscribe, like the
Yeah.
episode. Let's move on.
We're just gonna cut.
So, I wanted to start off today's episode with a pop culture phenomenon that kind of
Okay.
took the world by storm recently.
Okay.
Something I was very excited about, and something that also happened to happen on my birthday, which was
Mhm.
no coincidence. It was a gift for me.
Mhm.
And that was the hit film Wakanda Forever. Holy shit, Dylan is the only person at this table who has not had the chance to go see it yet.
I have not seen it yet. No.
And Dylan, take it from me. If you're going to watch any Marvel movie, go ahead and watch this one.
As someone who really liked Black Panther, I should have just watched it already,
Yeah.
but I will.
If you do want to go watch it, please let me know. I will happily go watch it again. I do want to watch it for a second time, like so badly.
Bro, I'll watch it with you guys.
Dude,
We're gonna go see Wakanda Forever
fucking
later in the
so
week.
down.
All right, actually.
I feel like we've spent a lot of time on this podcast throughout the past year just bashing Marvel for their mediocre or somewhat decent, films and TV productions.
do.
But man, Wakanda Forever was just a great way to cap Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Word.
I could go on, talk lengths about this. Obviously, this will be a spoiler-free talk because the movie's still pretty fresh.
I haven't seen it.
And we got to go watch it with Dill, but
Yeah.
just wanted to speak a couple things about why this movie was as fantastic as it was. I mean, before I go into a spiel, I'd like to know what you thought about it, Joey. What did you think?
I went to go see it, and the most excited person to see this movie was actually my mother. She was like,
Okay.
we got to go see this. She was the one that was like telling us, we got to get the tickets. How early can we get the tickets? So I was like, all right, like we're all going to see it. I'm already like hyped up because I know my mother is like hyped up. And I feel like, Black Panther, the first one that came out, like it was such a big deal for especially like the minority, the black people. It was such a big deal. It was like, this is like the first ever introduction of a black superhero that's like not part of the joke. Because like Hancock was like, all right, that's a superhero at the end of the movie, but it's normally seen as a joke. But this was like Black Panther.
It's
Was
just not a real superhero.
it's not, no. But like, and someone that they could see as like they can dress up as, or someone that they can like see that it's like that's a superhero. This is like acknowledged by Marvel, and Black Panther was the first one to do that. And the second one now introducing like Latinos and like Mayan culture and everything. It's like another big deal. Like even more minorities getting around and be like, this is fucking lit, dude. This is like all these characters that look like us are on screen right now. And it's dope. I think that's pretty cool. That's what I liked about it.
Joey the Mexican over here.
Yeah.
Fucking, it was really dope. Wakanda Forever was just I was telling my dad when I came home from it, I phrased it exactly like this. I said, not only was Wakanda Forever a great film on its own, not only was it a great installment to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was a really, really touching tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, straight up, like going into the movie, like everyone knew that was going to be the biggest kind of obstacle to overcome.
Oh, that's like he is Black Panther.
Exactly.
That's,
So it's like, where
No,
does the
yeah,
story
word.
go on from here, right?
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting that I saw that was it was trending on Twitter a lot after the movie came out is after Chadwick's passing, I don't remember what movie came out afterwards, but a movie came out where it opened with a purple version of the Marvel Studios logo to commemorate Chadwick, and instead of having clips of all the Marvel movies, it had clips of Chadwick in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And then they did it a second time after his passing, where if you go and you watch Black Panther on Disney Plus, it opens with the Purple Marvel Studios intro.
Yeah.
But for Wakanda Forever, it also opens with the Purple Marvel Studios intro, but it's completely silent. And it's I think it is the only time that a Marvel movie opens completely silent. The intro comes and it's just the clips of Chadwick, and it is really like haunting isn't the word, but it's just kind of like reflective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one time where it's like
super reflective. Like it's not a movie anymore. We're thinking about life,
and it's not, it has no need to be bombastic or anything. It's
and all the Twitter posts were just talking about how like everybody who went to see it in theaters on the first night, like how their theaters you could hear a pin drop when the movie opens. And it's funny because it's something that I registered watching the movie but didn't really think about too much. And then reading everybody's comments is like, oh shit, everybody kind of felt the same all over the country watching this movie, which is dope. You know, that just goes to show you that Ryan Coogler knows how to make his fucking movies. Another thing I wanted to mention about the Chadwick Boseman thing is like, I think I don't know the exact number. I know it's at least 3, but I know Wakanda Forever was rewritten at least 3 times because they were trying to figure out, like I mentioned, how to piece the puzzle that is Black Panther minus Chadwick Boseman, right? And I think they fucking nailed it. And to add on to it, I may have mentioned this on the podcast a while back. I didn't go in depth on it, and I think if I mentioned it, I probably didn't go in depth in it in purpose in case it was right. But I read a plot leak in July for Wakanda Forever, from like beginning to end. And I remember reading it on the plane to Florida for that vacation I went on, being like, that's pretty far-fetched. And then 2 days later, the trailer dropped, the D23, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, that might have been legit the plot of the movie. And I can tell you that 95% of what was in that plot leak happened exactly in the movie.
Nice.
To the point where I was just like, not in no upset way, because I was still so happy to be there, but I was like literally just waiting for everything to happen, to the point where I would lean into my girlfriend and tell her like, I know what's going to happen next, and even tell her, she'd be like, what the hell? You know?
I got my sources.
I got my sources.
Yeah.
But man, it was just
what happens next in the movie.
It was a really, really touching film. I want to speak more in depth, but it's hard not to spoil things. But like Joey said, the introduction of Namor and what they did with Namor and the Atlanteans, making them like from the Mesoamerican culture, was fucking sick. And the only thing I'm gonna say that might be like slightly spoilerific is there's a really, really fucking amazing scene where a character finally gets to like see for themselves the underwater city and what it looks like, and it's got to be one of the most like, don't even have the words really to describe it. It's vibey. It's incredible. It's just, I was there with my mouth open, honestly.
I feel like the colors are just right. Like when I went to see it, it didn't look like Atlantis, like a Disney's Atlantis.
But that's what I liked about it. They kept it real. You know, it's a city at the bottom of the ocean. It's dark and it's like fucking, you know what I mean?
You see the ocean colors too. It's not like pure clean.
And another thing is I was really excited going into this movie to see what Marvel did with the whole underwater culture as opposed to what DC did in Aquaman.
Yeah.
And if you'll fucking excuse me, this camera just turned off and I'm having a great day right now. We're back.
DC did something with underwater. What was that?
Aquaman.
And how did that compare to this?
It sounds like shit.
Well, no, Aquaman was a great movie, actually. But I think the main comparison was kind of what you were leaning into. DC kind of did a more like magical take on the whole Atlantis thing, which, to be fair, is very prominent in, you know, DC Comics. Like there's the whole Atlantean magic, that thing. It's very different from how, I won't say necessarily how Marvel portrays it, but how the Marvel Cinematic Universe portrays it. And the MCU kind of portrays this underwater city as more of like a historical thing, whereas Aquaman's is more of like a magical thing. Still, you know, amazing in both rights, but just a different vibe. What the fuck, bro? What is up with this camera? I'm gonna flip. Watch me. I'm gonna flip. Ready? Welcome to Cameras Don't Work, the podcast. I'm your host, Bobby Rosario.
We can rename it that.
Yeah, we're sponsored by the camera that doesn't workist.
Camera that doesn't workist.
Yeah, can we have that? Like, if one of them actually does brick, that's the new member.
It's just on the table.
Yeah.
Yes. Remind me to refer back to this podcast when that idea has to come
He's
through.
incredibly racist, too.
But I think I said not necessarily all I want to say about Wakanda Forever, but all I can say without spoiling it for our friend Dylan here. But all I will tell you is that I'm going to give it a fat 9 out of 10. I think it was incredibly good of a Black Panther movie, considering, slight spoiler alert, there's not much of the Black Panther in it, funny enough, but you'd be surprised how good of a movie it is besides that. And I think that just also speaks volumes to how great it was. Overall, 9 out of 10. And I think the only thing that beat it out of Phase 4 was She-Hulk. She-Hulk was that good.
I'm watching She-Hulk now, and I was like, okay.
Time to get into
I'm
it.
getting it.
I'm
getting it.
I was joking about that. As good as I do think She-Hulk is, all jokes aside, I think the only thing to come out in Phase 4 that was better than Wakanda Forever was Spider-Man No Way Home. But, both movies in their rights were just cinematic masterpieces.
They really were. They were in the oven.
Yeah.
They were in the oven for a while.
So that's what I have to say about Wakanda Forever. The last thing I have to say about Wakanda Forever that kind of fits real nicely into this podcast is that it actually broke a pretty dope record.
It broke a record.
It broke a record for the highest selling movie that has ever come out in November. It's kind of cool.
I did not know that.
It's kind of cool, right? So
no other movie in November has done better.
In the history of November, my birth month.
Did they have one for every month?
Yeah, I think so.
Was November like the last one?
What do you mean?
Oh, wait, never mind.
The last month?
Yeah. No, they needed someone to break that record for November.
Joey, every record is about to be broken until it's broken.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, speaking of movies and their records, I feel like Dylan's got something for us today. What is that?
Yeah, so I got a segment.
What?
Whoa.
That's why it's up there, because that's my reaction, especially when I rewatch
Smegment.
An episode that is a schmegment. And I watch it, and I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot about this.
Yeah,
It
right.
happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
we've only been doing this for over 100 weeks.
Yes,
but
exactly. So Bobby told me to come up with a name for this. I do not have a name for this segment. I wish I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Record Breakers.
Let's
Record breakers or record rakers?
record breaker. I like record breakers a lot.
Welcome to Record Records. Oh, man.
Let's keep it real.
Can you go, please?
What's the question?
So, basically how the game's going to work, it's trivia questions. I'm going to tell you what the record is, and you guys got to tell me what movie it is from. Okay. I will give you a couple of choices, obviously, to let y'all know. I'm not going to, have you guys know it from off the bat, like, oh, yeah, that's this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. How well do you think do you guys think you're gonna do well?
Well, I don't know what the records are. Are they gonna be
I don't
weird
know
records?
anything.
Some of them are weird.
I feel like if they're weird, I'll be able to know them.
Some of them are pretty weird. Some of them are pretty normal.
If they're normal, I'll have more of an issue with them.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. What is the movie that broke the world record for the most amount of extras in a movie? Okay, I will list them off. Is it 300? Is it Braveheart? Or is it Gandhi?
Damn,
Braveheart.
I actually thought it was a zombie movie. I'm gonna say Gandhi.
What do you say?
Braveheart.
It is in fact Gandhi.
Damn it! I should have known. A bunch of people wanted to be in the movie just for the sake of being in a Gandhi
so
movie.
how they broke the record is originally they hired 95,000 extras for the movie, which is a lot of extras to hire. But they filmed the funeral scene of Gandhi on the anniversary of his funeral. So over 300,000 volunteers came in.
Got you.
And so they filmed the funeral scene during the procession of the
actual funeral.
Of the anniversary funeral.
Wow.
So they just put a coffin in the middle.
They just decided, hey, let's film it now.
And they had that one day to film it, and they filmed everything in that one day.
Fire.
That's crazy. Fire.
Yeah. So Bobby 1, Joey 0. Let's go into the second one.
Yay.
So the second one is the movie with the most amount of dialogue spoken.
Ooh. Okay.
All right.
Is it The Godfather? Is it Casino? Or is it Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
Now that's just a weird fucking.
That's a weird. No, yeah.
That's just a fucking monkey wrench if I've ever heard one. I swear to God, if it's the Chamber of Secrets, I'm gonna flip. There's like a whole 15 minutes where they just play chess. But anyway,
it's a long movie. It's a 3.5 hour fucking movie, though. You're sitting there watching.
It can't be but it can't be Harry Potter.
You see, my first thought that jumped into my head was Godfather. It's got it, like perhaps one of the Godfathers, but then Casino threw me for a loop. Man, I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm just gonna go with the Godfather.
I'm gonna go with Godfather because that's the first thing I thought of too. I don't think it's Harry Potter.
The correct answer is Casino.
Yeah, I figured.
Godfather's right behind it. Godfather's 2. But I forget what it was. But another movie, it has like, Casino has so much dialogue in it. It also has highest amount of improvised dialogue. And it also has the character with the most dialogue, which is Robert De Niro's character, which I forget what he has, but I think it's like 10,000 words.
That's insane.
15,000 words, something like that for one character.
Fire. Shout out to Scorsese.
Yeah. So right now, Joey 0, Bobby 1. Number 3, we have movie with the most amount of takes taken for one scene.
Oh, I think I know what this is already.
I think I might know.
Okay, so we have The Shining, we have Titanic, and we have Baby Geniuses.
Fuck you, Dylan. Going with The Shining.
It could be Baby Geniuses. Come on.
No, I think it's The Shining.
It is in fact The Shining.
147 takes.
Yes.
That was insane.
Specific
Staircase.
Yeah.
Bro, I know movies, Dylan.
Yeah.
That staircase scene,
that
yeah.
one.
I know horror movies. I
and
knew
then
that.
there was also, I forget the
She doesn't act anymore. What's her name? Shannon? No, it's
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall. She doesn't act because like she literally went crazy from
And
that movie.
I forget what's his name. Darrell Crothers or I forget his name. The black guy in the movie. They said that there were some days where he like was too tired to show up. That like there were some days that they couldn't get him because it was like, I forget, but there was like this one scene of him and the boy. They do a scene where he talks about like the idea of like shining and stuff like that. And I want to say that scene particularly took 80 takes.
Holy shit. Jesus.
So it literally took all day for one scene. And I want to say the movie with the most amount of scenes overall shot was actually Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, wow.
Where there was I remember there was a whole month where they just shot one scene.
Shouts to Kubrick.
Yeah. So Kubrick was actually just a fucking maniac.
A record breaker.
Yeah, but I feel like that's why, yeah, exactly.
That's why his movies are good.
Mm-hmm. What a legend. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-1. We have the most dogs to attend a movie premiere. So we have The Secret Life of Pets 2.
Uh-huh.
We have Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Uh-huh.
And we have Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties.
Okay.
I think it was 2, Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
I'm also going to go with Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Oh, guys, it's The Secret Life of
Fuck
Pets 2.
me. Are you kidding me? That's recent. They did this?
Yeah.
That makes sense because it's the sequel, you know. The first movie comes out, it's good enough. Then they're like, oh, let's do this press event for the second.
It was a lot of...
How did that work? Did people get to bring their pets?
Yeah, it was like there was people who worked on the movie and celebrities and stuff. They all got that, and you sat.
What if all the pets went crazy?
Yeah,
and
that's
started
what
attacking
I
each
would have
other?
fucking. They bug out at the
Some guy brings
movie.
a dog whistle secretly with them.
It actually gives the
Popcorn's getting
Full on
thrown
animal war. It's
they
insane.
actually showed them The Shining, and they actually just got fucking bugged out. No, but I'm thinking imagine if they bugged out and it was you're giving them not only bad ideas, but they're watching dogs on screen. You think
You think that they're gonna use the appliances upstairs?
They're like, he used a blender. I could use a blender.
The animals are at this premiere fucking learning.
We can use blenders.
We must evolve.
Oh God, that's fucking funny.
They're trying to teach us. That's why we're all here.
Listen to Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's fucking great. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
And we're up to number 5.
Yeah, we're up to number 5.
Fire.
We're up to most credits for a single movie. So most times credited in the credits.
Like a person?
Yeah, one single person for one single movie.
Okay.
Yes. We have Robert Rodriguez for El Mariachi. We have Groucho Marx for Duck Soup. And we have Jackie Chan for Chinese Zodiac.
I'm
What are
gonna
you
say
guys thinking here?
the second one, duck soup something.
For Groucho Marx, Duck Soup?
Yeah.
It's 1 or 2. I'm gonna kind of go off here out of the box. I'm gonna say El Mariachi.
Okay. It is actually Jackie Chan.
Okay.
With Chinese Zodiac.
That one I wouldn't have thought. What is he
wouldn't have
credited
thought.
for?
So, this is where I was annoyed. So, El Mariachi, it was Robert Rodriguez for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because he made that movie by himself.
By himself.
That movie also has lowest budget to make $1 million in the box office, which the movie he spent $7 to 10 grand making.
Got most of that money selling his blood and shit like that.
He did drug testing. So if a new drug comes out, you show up every day, they watch you and whatever.
To pay for a movie.
Yeah.
Insane.
And it made over $1 million.
And then he made Spy Kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, Yeah, so essentially, Jackie Chan made Chinese Zodiac, which was a movie funded by like the Chinese government, which I found weird. He put himself on everything. So he's like the visual guy, he's the stunt guy, he's craft services.
Yo. Fucking, first off, I love Jackie Chan. That's a fat ass lie. Second, I want to live in a world where Jackie Chan is on set and he's like, oh yeah, I want to go eat a crab service. And then he goes and he runs behind and he puts on a chef's hat and he's like, what do you want, Jackie? Like, you know what I mean? He's just playing every single person on this fucking set.
Uber Eats once, right? Like, that's what he did. He was like, all right, I want a 20-piece nugget. Like,
he moved the camera an inch and now he's fucking like production assistant. Oh, I
did it. And you know what brought him over the record?
What?
He did the soundtrack. he did the soundtrack. He did the score.
He's hitting one note.
No, he did the theme song and the score. I think he worked with the person who did the score, and that's what brought him up to 15.
He can do it all.
I was pissed though. I was
new
mad.
favorite movie.
He filmed
fact.
himself.
When I heard
he
that,
did the
I was
makeup
like,
himself.
I made you.
VFX by Jackie Chan.
He was his own stunt double.
Yeah, I mean he does do his own stunts. Good for him.
I heard he did Foley on that too. Holy shit!
Did he get effed up from one of his stunts? I remember
Jackie
it was
Chan's died like almost 9 times in different. Stunts,
no,
bro.
it was like for his old age in like The Spy Next Door, which was like I think
makes sense. That's the second time that movie's been mentioned on this podcast in the past 2 months.
He like did like a thing with a zip wire and he like slammed against the wall and he was like, I'm done.
That happens like every movie though.
Yeah, I need a shirt that's like, please return my copy of this. All right, you guys. What the fuck is the score? It's like really low.
It's still 2-1.
2-1. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, so this one is the largest speedboat jump in a movie.
Ooh.
All right. We have Tequila Sunrise, 007 Live and Let Die, and Too Fast, Too Furious. These are why?
Well, one of those is Too Fast and Too Furious, so you would think, you know.
that they have the fastest boats, maybe.
I'm gonna go 007 too.
Yes, it is in fact 007. I want to say they used 45 boats in which they ruined for the movie. Damn. And the speedboat jump was over 120 feet.
So far.
I'm starting to think about it. If you really think about it, 007 was like the first movie that had that much action.
Yeah.
That in that time it was like, you saw that, Carol?
A lot
He jumped over a truck.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest thing back then.
And this scene,
he shot a guy.
I actually watched the scene. It is actually pretty impressive because he's like in one body of water and then he jumps over like a peninsula into like the ocean into like another body of water.
Into the second of body of water that the peninsula is surrounded by. Yeah, it's pretty fire. It would have been pretty crazy if he jumped into a trampoline in the second body of water and that landed him into the third body of water.
It was a pool. It was a pool on top of it.
Yeah,
it was a pool on the boat in the water.
I'm dead.
This actually reminds me though that 007 has like hundreds of records. They always try to like break ones, and there's one that Spectre has, which is the largest explosion or like the most explosives used. And I want to say it got to the point where it was picked up by TMZ and a lot of like. Oh, wow. Reports. Media, and Michael Bay almost sued the reporters because he believed he had the world record for the most explosions in Transformers, and he's like he like dies on that hill that he has that world record, and it's like Michael Bay.
Fuck you, Mike.
It's okay, like please.
Yes.
Hey.
Hello, kitty.
Oh, the cat.
Sick.
Yeah. Didn't something happen? Like 007 won a record this year. Billie Eilish like sung a song.
I mean, she did this song for the movie. I don't know if it broke a record. It probably won a Grammy or something.
I think it was like an anniversary, like 100.
I don't know.
Of the guy who wrote it. What is his name? I forgot his name. But you also have I forgot one of the producers, but his name's Broccoli. So shouts to that guy.
Who? Oh wait, like Ian, like the writer of it, Ian Fleming. That dude.
Yeah, Ian Fleming. Yeah, and then one of the producers, his name is Broccoli.
Shouts to Broccoli.
Shouts to Broccoli. All right, you guys ready? We're 3-2.
All right.
3-2.
Yeah.
Oh, we both got that right.
Yeah, you did. You both got it. Number 7 is this is the world record for the largest inflatable ball to promote a movie. So we have Baywatch, where they inflated a beach ball. We have We Are Marshall, where they inflated a football. Or we have Bend It Like Beckham, where they inflated a soccer ball.
Going with Baywatch here.
I'm going with the soccer ball one.
It is Baywatch.
Stupid.
For the remake, obviously,
Yeah.
not the first one.
Makes
but
sense, right? It's a new movie. It's
They
dumb as
wanted-
shit.
they did it, I want to say, in like England and like the Thames River or whatever. And it was
Because that's where you do the Baywatch promotion.
Yeah, word.
The
That's
Thames
exactly
River in
it.
fucking
It-
London.
no joke. It was.
Oh, you saw that fucking beach ball
it might
in
have
that country with no fucking beaches.
It might have been even colder. It might have been Scotland. It might have been Edinburgh. It might have been Edinburgh.
No, but that's why they want to see it. It's like, what is this like?
Why is this giant beach? If you were in Miami, you were like, "Oh, Ted's here with the fucking beach
Yeah,
ball." bro.
word.
Oh God! All right. Okay. Bobby's pulling away a little bit. You guys ready for another one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We have actually on many review sites the worst reviewed movie.
Okay.
All right. We got Look Who's Talking Now. We have Gotti. And we have Ballistic X versus Sever.
And this has a record of what?
Worst reviewed movie.
God, I have never heard of that third
Tommy
one. but it
Wiseau's The Room is
sounds
the worst reviewed movie.
terrible.
The room wasn't like
A movie.
the room came out, but the room wasn't like in like every theater.
Yeah.
This is for like stuff that was
Stuff
in
that
like,
was in theaters.
every theater.
Man, that third one sounds right, but part of me is telling me it's Gotti, so I'm gonna go with Gotti.
You think? What were the options? Look Who's Talking, Gotti.
It was
and
Look Who's Talking Now.
Gotti, and then this movie
Yeah.
probably.
And by
has
the way, the first
worst
two are also
review of
John
all
Travolta
time.
movies, which, by the way, John Travolta has the record for the most amount of movies that have a horrible rate, a 0 rating. He's in like 11. He's in like a crazy
Damn.
amount of movies that have like a 0 or like a less than like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
bro, that guy gonna be next, the one that does
Yeah.
more.
And then the third one is Ballistic X versus Sever.
See, that sounds right, but I'm going with Gotti.
I think it's Ballistic X.
By the way, can you guys spell? It's Ballistic X versus Sever.
Don't even want to
Don't.
fucking try.
It's not X as in the letter. It's E. It's a guy's name. His name is ECKS.
Got it.
I think it's based off of a like.
What's the right answer?
It's Ballistic X
Okay.
versus Sever. That's what I'm talking
Yay!
about. It is. I believe it's based off of like a video game. I think like a really bad video game.
Oh man, that sucks.
You tell me a video game based off of a video game we've never heard of? That
Yeah.
sounds incredible.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
amazing.
feel like we should watch it.
I mean,
we
video game
should.
movies are already great.
Yeah.
From the 5 seconds I've seen of it, it's like the guy from Grandma's Boy with like the fucking jacket.
Oh,
and he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
he looks like kind of like the Matrix, but like worse.
like shittier.
yeah, like shitty
The
Matrix.
fake tricks.
Yes.
Matrix.
So sorry to inform you, Joey, but we are in fact finished.
Oh.
Bobby, you have won.
Thank you. Ow.
Good job, guys. This was actually quite good. I have some honorable mentions here. We have the longest film duration, which is Boyhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which,
Okay.
I don't know, you guys
Wait,
know
that like longest movie or to make?
to make like
Yeah, obviously.
to, like-
Boyhood.
yeah.
You said
Wait,
film duration. I thought runtime.
no, as in like longest
Yeah,
to
it's like
make.
12
Which
years.
apparently he wants to do a 20-year one now. I heard that Richard Linklater wants to make a 25-year length movie that like he films people.
That's
and
what
they-
Linklater's into. He's
Yeah,
just into, like,
he's
doing shit with
like-
time.
He
but-
can't do any longer. He'll be fucking dead. He's
Yeah.
getting up there.
But
now.
he's trying.
Yeah.
You never know if he's gonna ask someone to continue it.
He'll do it Linklater.
He's like, I'm gonna do one for 60 years. And he's like,
Bobby,
sir,
that was
you're gonna
so
be gone.
horrible.
He's like, no, you gotta pass it down. Pass it down until
I was
it's
originally
done.
going to ask you guys what the biggest box office flop is, but there's a couple of weird things. Is that a lot of times it's like because of inflation, it's like a range, and a lot of people
Gotcha.
fight over it.
Okay.
And then it's like a lot of like the COVID ones broke the record because the theater was closed. They literally just had to take an L, and a lot of companies just put it on like Disney Plus or whatever, and that still counts as like a $200 million loss. It's like Turning Red. Everyone watched it. What do you mean it like bombed?
Yeah,
You know. But yeah, there was also a movie that was longest runtime, like time running, and I was like,
So
wait,
like
what?
Run Lola Run or
And
some shit like
Yeah, it was Postcards from Rome,
that. Okay.
and it was just a movie of a guy running.
Got it.
He was fucking jogging the whole movie. I was
The
like,
whole
who the
movie's
fuck would
running.
watch this movie?
The Runner.
Yeah.
Thank you for that record-breaking segment, Dylan. That was
Thank you,
That was
Dylan.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like learning stuff. I learned some new shit.
Yay.
Movies are cool. I got this from It was like 3 or 4 different movie iceberg videos that I kind of molded together. Which, I mean, I know about like every fucking movie now. There's some fucking weird ones out there.
I know.
There's some weird. People go through some great lengths to do stuff that maybe isn't really even needed for a movie. You just do it because
you just do it because you want to.
James Cameron style. Hey, let's rebuild the Titanic.
So, if I may interject here for a second.
Do it.
I would like to take one moment just to pay respect to somebody that we lost recently. Somebody who I very much wanted to dedicate this episode of the podcast to. And that is the one, the only, the very legendary Kevin Conroy. May you rest in peace, buddy. For those of you who may not know who the legend is, Kevin Conroy provided the voice of Batman in just about every cartoon you grew up with if you're about our age. Starting in Batman the Animated Series, moving on to Batman Beyond, the Justice League Unlimited, the Batman Arkham games. I mean, the Killing Joke movie. As far as I'm concerned, Kevin Conroy was my Batman. Fun fact, he was also the second person to actually start voicing Batman with 2 separate voices, one for Batman and one for Bruce Wayne. He got the idea from Michael Keaton's Batman, who he liked. I think that was his favorite or whatever. But what a legend, man. That one really got me sad. Had to die on my birthday, too, which was just like
of course.
You know?
Of course.
I remember, like, it was a sad day, too, man. It was raining and everything. I was like, damn.
It's Bobby's birthday.
And it's Bobby's birthday. I thought about that, too, man.
No, it's funny. I opened it up and I saw it, and I was like, no, bro, please. But and another thing that I thought was funny is as soon as I saw the news, the first place I went was Mark Hamill's Twitter, because I was like, you know, they're like the yin and the yang. And granted, he did post something on the day of. It was just like a very like simple, can't believe this is happening type thing. But on the next day, Mark Hamill, he paid a really, really nice tribute to him on Twitter, just basically talking about how Kevin was one of the more like one of his favorite people to work with in terms of voice acting. And it even got to the point where Mark said that like they had become so close in working together, and that Mark enjoyed working with Kevin so much that whenever they wanted him to play the Joker, he was just like, is Kevin doing it? And he'd be like, yeah. Like, as long as Kevin was doing it, he had no problems with it whatsoever. So, man, that one really hurt me, man. That made
me so sad to hear.
I also read a comment. It was under that tweet from Mark. It was just a guy, honestly, or it may have been from like a person from a comic book Twitter page or something like that. But it was just a tweet that said something along the lines of like, want to thank you too for everything that you gave throughout your 20 years of performing these characters. What you did was nothing short of art. And he was just saying how he can't wait to share that with his children now as they start to grow older. And I was like, shit, how sick is that? Like, you know, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, but you're not going anywhere anytime soon. You know
your legacy is strong.
Truly.
Your legacy is strong.
And then the last thing I wanted to mention was, like, I feel like, it's not even a feel like, he 100% is known most for all of his animation stuff from the early 90s into the early 90s into the early mid-2000s. But for some reason, man, just for me, he'll always be Arkham Batman. You know, I love those Arkham games, and anybody who's played that series will tell you how great they are written too. And you know, to further that, Mark Hamill played the Joker in those games, so it just felt like they took the best that came from all those old cartoons and just put them into the best fucking game that they could have been to represent those two characters. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is you will be missed, Kevin. You know, nobody will ever be able to do it close to you. And rest in peace, homie.
Honestly.
Batman has the best. He definitely helped support Batman, but Batman always had the best supporting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Villains, sidekicks,
and even then, like the games, the side stuff. It was always good, whether it be the animated show, games, side things.
It's Batman, man.
It always worked. I've never really watched anything Batman related and been like, this doesn't really work.
It's because in a weird way, Batman feels like the most relatable character, not because of the psychological trauma or what he's in. It's because he's a fucking dude. You know?
Yeah, he's just a dude. He's like, hey, all this money. This is what's going towards.
Exactly.
And it kind of, you're like, hey, I could actually
kind of charitable.
Right?
It's not aliens. It's not a bug bit me. It's not anything like that. It's literally just this guy is doing this.
Yeah. So shout outs to Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace, you absolute legend. And to swing it into something else that's pretty prolific. A game came out that I've been waiting for a stupid long time. I got Joey to play the first game a little while back. And I think you enjoyed it pretty well.
I very much did. I'm glad I didn't have to wait as long as you did.
And that is, of course, God of War Ragnarok. I mean, you know, even if you're not into video games, this is a game that's been fucking everywhere for the past week.
You don't have
It's on every train in like Thailand and everywhere.
The advertisements for this game are like ridiculous, and it's warranted. You know, the game's a fucking masterpiece. It's incredible. It's a ton of fun. Again, for those of you who may be at home playing it, spoiler free. Won't be spoiling anything. I mean, for what it's worth, Joey and I are actually like a little more than halfway through the game.
I think we're in halfway. There's a lot.
And we're like at the same place too, so it's not really like we could spoil much of what's going to happen because we're not there yet, right?
No, you're not.
But just a really, really fun experience playing it. I just really love when you play a game, like the first game I'm talking, like in this case, God of War.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like I said this a couple times, but God of War, weirdly enough, I've been playing video games for like 22 plus years. God of War was the first game that I beat entirely. And I was actually upset there wasn't anything, like nothing else to do. I was like, what the fuck? Like I wanted so much more.
Yeah.
And it already gave me so much. So that's why I was so excited for the sequel. But I really love when you play a game like that and then the sequel comes out and within like a few hours of playing it, you're like, this is everything I wanted and more. Like it's such a great fucking feeling. I have not gotten it in many sequels. I've gotten it in like Kingdom Hearts 2, Batman Arkham City, and here we are, God of War Ragnarok. It's just they added all the best fucking shit. So much more immersive, so much more expansive, and it's like also just like the world, right? Like the art, the music, it's just so
immersive.
Fucking immersive.
It's probably the most immersive for sure. It's
if you're looking for a story-driven game, if you're done with all those like run and shoot 'em online battle royales and you want a story game, like the God of War series I think was actually a really good story.
Not to mention it's also really cool what they did with God of War in the first place, how in the PS2 era it was this, albeit it was a very interestingly written game, but it was portrayed in this brutal. It might sound insulting to use cartoony, but you know, it was meant to.
It was arcadey.
Exactly,
it was very
arcade.
It wasn't even the concept. And
like the tone was still serious.
No one was really feeling sorry for anyone they killed,
and the gameplay was very much like, I'm just gonna kill everybody. I'm gonna
kill everything.
But they took that and they gave us a fucking AAA masterpiece, man. Where like you're actually invested in these characters, where you're like praying nothing bad is gonna happen to them because you follow them for so damn long.
Especially the first game, like I didn't even play it. I watched it. I watched the game. I was like, and I felt satisfied. I was like, damn, I wish I played that. But at the same time, it was like, I got the story.
Yeah.
Also, I got everything.
Yeah. Also, just like to add on to that, the fact that they took a character like Kratos and then gave him a son, and that changes so much. Like now he goes from this blood. Well, granted, he had a family in the whole beforehand, but I mean, like we never got to see that side of Kratos.
No.
Now we're in this point where like he gets to try again, and we really kind of get to see Kratos not only bond with his son, but kind of learn how to be a dad, despite the fact he's a god killer and all this crazy shit. And you kind of lose yourself in that. Like you'll be playing God of War, and you'll be like, I'm not even playing a fucking God killing game. I'm just playing a game where this guy is learning how to be a dad to his fucking son, and the son is also learning how to be like a good son. It's weird.
But we're also killing shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're. It's a very deep story.
It's like, oh shit, giant god. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a very sentimental moment, and then it's like, go and kill.
And there is one thing I want to spoil. It's not like the craziest spoil in the world. It's not like a story spoiler. It's more so a gameplay thing, and it's not spoiling anything for Joey. It will spoil something for you if you want to play it, and if you're not up to it. But I thought it was really sick that you get to play as Atreus in this one. Yeah. That really threw me for a loop. I remember controlling him for the first minute and being like, nah, like it's just going to be for like a cutscene thing. And like, no, you play full on moments of the game with just Atreus, the son. Like all different combat variations. He uses a bow. He has his own powers. And it's a really fucking
I wasn't
sick
expecting
shit.
That would blow my mind.
It was really dope. Such an awesome touch. Yeah.
Yeah, I too also thought, oh, this is just gonna be for this one segment, and it lasts a while. I'm like, oh, so, and then the stats got longer, and I was like, oh, so we're playing him. And it does add those moments when you do play him. It does add a lot. Almost adds a different perspective, while we're still playing the main guy Kratos. Mm-hmm. But when we follow Atreus, it's like, I see why he's doing this. And then when he meets up with Kratos, you're like, no, boy, listen to him.
Yeah, listen to your son, man.
Listen to him.
You both have reasons. So, yeah, man. Watch Wakanda Forever. Check out God of War.
A lot of stuff is happening. Don't be a hermit.
A lot of big stuff. Don't be Dylan. You don't want to be Dylan right now. Trust me.
I want to watch these.
And then the last thing I just wanted to say is, last but not least, before we get into the jam and yam, I wanted to thank you guys for making my birthday a fun one this year. It was a good time. I got to hang out with all my boys. Got to hang out with you girls, and it was a good time.
Throw that picture that I think your father took of all of us.
Right there. There's the picture. Shout out.
Nice.
And I just want to say shout outs to Jessica. Fuck you. Thanks for coming to my birthday sarcastically because you didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send her this clip because she also doesn't have social media, so I have to send this directly to her to insult her.
Direct
Thank
message.
you, Jessica. And I had a great time. We got to play some trivia games. We got to fucking play that movie game, which was
fun
pretty
stuff.
fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Jackbox. I always forget how fun Jackbox is until we play it. Like, it's like, why don't we play this more often? Like granted, I know it's better in a bigger
It needs
group
to be
setting,
a party
but,
scenario most of the time.
But it's like, Jesus, those games are so fun.
I think we could play it if like all the boys are here. I think we could play it.
One day we need to sit down and we need to actually we need to rank these games. Like, not even on the pod. We could do it on the podcast.
I would like
that'd be
to.
cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But I'm just talking like this would be helpful for us for when we actually have a party. Like, we already know, like, all right, open up Jackbox this because it has like 3 bangers. You know what I mean? So, definitely.
I'm gonna pick up.
Stay tuned for that.
We're gonna do it.
I'm down.
Number 1 is Guespionage for sure.
Oh no,
Fuck you.
Wordspud.
Wordspud is like in our friend group. Wordspud is number fucking 1. You know what I mean? Because holy shit.
Wordspud's the best thing ever. Wordspud's
right.
On the first jackpot. I was just gonna say, like, and not to delve into this, but like, if you had to think about it for 2 seconds, what would you think really would be up there? Probably Quiplash, right?
Quiplash
has 3 versions. It's like the simplest.
Because, like, don't get me wrong, I feel like murder, the
Trivia Murder
Party's
second.
up there. I feel like Fibbage is up there, but
I don't think Fibbage is up there.
Well, I mean, because it has 4 sequels, right? But the idea that Quiplash is all centered around just you being funny, like, around your friends, like, that's just it's unbeatable. Like, that's a great concept for a game. So I think Quiplash is at the top of the list. But stay tuned.
We'll make that list
because that tier list is coming.
Yeah, for sure.
We already have an idea for 116, perhaps.
Maybe.
But yeah, and I think it's a good time to jump into Jam and Yam of the week.
And Slam.
Yeah, don't forget about me, shit.
I mean, would anybody like to start? I can start.
I want to go first.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I'll go first. Yes. So I've been falling into
Dylan's been falling.
I've been free falling. That's my yam now. A lot of like math rock, Midwest emo type vibes. You know, this song is like very much influenced by like Midwest emo, and it's the band is Kayak Jones, and the song is Lesson.
Kayak Jones.
Yeah,
it's an amazing superhero name.
Yeah. And I was like, who's this guy? And it's like a band, and I was like, oh, that makes way more sense, you know. But yeah, it's like emo, but not like miserable. Like, it's pretty happy sounding, you know.
Fire.
Yeah, it's real good. Check it out.
My slam is a song called "Broken" featuring Lil Skies and Noah Cyrus. It's a dope like. Deep. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't want to just describe everything as fucking trap music, but it's just like deep, like emo, like rap. It's cool.
Fire. My jam of the week. Ready for this? To bookend this back to the beginning of the podcast. There's a song off the Wakanda Forever soundtrack because soundtrack is pretty damn fire.
There's a song on a soundtrack.
One thing I did want to mention with the Wakanda Forever thing that I thought was kind of sick is, like Joey also mentioned, the fact that for the first time we're starting to see a heavy influence of like the Mesoamerican and at a greater, you know, scope of things, Hispanic influence on the MCU. A lot of the soundtrack was like half African, half Hispanic, which was kind of dope.
Yeah, it was dope.
So I'm going to give a shout out to the song Con la Brisa. Might be butchering this name, but it's by an artist named Foudeqush. I don't know. Foudecush. However you want to pronounce it. And Ludwig Goransson. It's a fucking beautiful song, and to give you perspective, it's the song that plays when.
Oh, it's I know that's this guy's producer.
Yeah, it's the song that plays when you know the characters go into the underwater city for the first time and are exploring it. It's just a very beautiful, bubbly, just really vibey ass song, you know.
Definitely,
because that's what Wakanda Forever was. It was a vibey ass movie.
Let's hear it.
But yeah, that's gonna be. I think that's pretty much it for us here at the Joystick Show.
Yeah.
You know, it'd really be helpful if you could go ahead and like episode 115 of the Joystick
Don't like any
Show.
of the other ones.
Yeah, go back and dislike the first 114.
So we know it's real.
And then make 114 separate YouTube accounts and like just this video. Yeah. Don't even like 116. Mm-hmm. We just want this video to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Even it out.
Because we want to stress how good God of War, Ragnarok, and Wakanda Forever are. And we also want to let you know how sad we are that our homie Kevin Conroy is with the Angels, you know. But that being said, I had a fun one here. It also helps if you could go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick
if you want.
And what are the boys commenting this week? Don't leave me here. Come on. You should be thinking about this, Dylan.
I gotta fucking pee, man.
How many times have you peed today?
When was the last time you peed? Go ahead and comment that in the YouTube comments. When was the last time you peed?
And if you pooped, don't tell us.
Yeah.
Don't
tell us. Keep that one to yourself.
Here, you won.
Keep the
put
poop.
the medal on.
Thank you.
Did I win?
What the fuck is this?
I didn't win.
Nope. Me and Joey won the segment.
Enjoy your-
So from all of us here at Team Joystick,